MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you. The MG Show. The show is about to start. Buckle up, 'cause here we go!
What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the MG Show. It is Tuesday, December 9th. Wow. It's my grandfather's birthday today. Wow, it just dawned on me. Wow. Happy birthday, Grandpa, up in heaven. God bless you all. Welcome to the MG Show. Here we are. It is Tuesday, December 9th. Shady, my partner in justice, Shady Groove.
Thank you so much, sir. Welcome to everybody, and God bless your grandfather, and a happy birthday up in heaven. It was actually my brother's birthday day before yesterday.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. But he's with us, right?
Yeah, barely.
Well, pray for that. You know, we got a lot of weird spiritual stuff going on. Update on Poussin's husband. They're going to keep him an extra day, but they moved him out of ICU yesterday into a regular room today. So he was like in like ICU critical, and then ICU watch list, and then now into a regular room. It looks like he's going to be doing fine. The prayers work, guys. And this spiritual battle that we're facing, we've got attacks coming from all directions. And I know a lot of you are feeling it now, but remember to put on the armor of God today, guys. And, you know, we rebuke any of these negative comments that are towards you, our show. They are afraid of us because we're over the target, Shady. I know a lot of people that are in the MG Show chat over there on X. You know, people are new and they haven't seen it, but this has happened millions of times, it seems like, guys. And I don't really care if they come after me or Shady, but when they come after somebody that's having a hard time, that's the bottom of the bottom, and damn near demonic, Shady Groove. So prayers up for Tim and Poussin. We love you, and you know we got your back.
We absolutely do, and thank you guys so much out there. B Fly says it's their birthday today, so happy birthday to you. I'm very, very excited to hear that, because all of us, you know what? The thing is, Jeff, you know, at one point I was thinking, oh, you know, like getting older, but now I'm seeing it a little bit differently.
You're getting longer.
Now I'm seeing that all of us together have been through something. You know, like now you've been through the paper shredder of your life up until the point where Donald Trump decided to come to politics. And then Donald Trump decided to come to politics, and he started to like piece the pieces of paper back together. And so now we're here like a decade later, and it's almost like we're putting something back together that was shredded decades and decades ago. In other words, like a big, large chunk of your life is missing because the state, the powers that be, the entities that were in charge decided that you were the problem, the person that actually is represented. The system tried to eat itself. And we, the patriots, the people in America, decided to stand up and stop it. And let me tell you something. You think that we weren't on a slippery slide? You think we weren't on a slippery slope to the bottom? You're crazy. This is exactly what it was they wanted to do. We've been going through the stuff with the bloodline families, the Pacer research on Fridays, and connecting you all to this Fortune 500 company that turned out to be a trust. It is a trust. So effectively what Donald Trump is doing is he's fighting a trust. We're not fighting Democrats. We're not fighting narratives. We're fighting the trust, the universal trust that became the Federal Reserve. That's who he is fighting. And everyone that is attacking him in some way, one way or the other, whether it's through the church, whether it's through the cartel, whether it's through the political theater.
Welcome to
the people that are standing up against him, the people that are standing against Trump, doesn't matter how they do it, where they do it, what they pretend like their reason is. The reason that they're doing it is because of the fear they have of the American people being awake and having information. That's really the bottom line of their fear. They don't care about any of this other stuff. The main thing that they don't want is you to be able to like utilize your logic and discernment and to think your way clearly through different events and to not be sucked down the rabbit hole or to not be like, you know, supercharged over in radical land. That's the dynamic. Think about that. You're either sucked into the rabbit hole or you're becoming radicalized. What happened to the middle? The middle is being eroded from us. The middle is being taken from us. And the middle, whenever you were young and whenever I was young, the middle was the anchor of American politics. And the intelligence operators are trying to destroy that.
Yeah. And, you know, so last night, Shady, you were saying that this post was being passed around via the operators as if it was new. This post is Pam. I've reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time. All talk, no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam, Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put in a Democrat and supported a U.S. attorney in Virginia, a really bad Republican past, a woke rhino. Okay, so basically, I want to just show you, you know, that he fired him. Lawyers and legal pundits say so. Lindsay Halligan is a really good lawyer, and she likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation, credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now, President DJT. So what we do here on the MG Show, we notice a psychological operation. This post being passed around from 9/20/25 as if it was today. Okay, so then I just went and asked Grok, Shady Groove, and let's just go ahead.
Yep. And they were passing around as if he had said it today, and passing around as if the things that he said in there had not occurred. And I was like talking to you this morning. I'm like, what did you see the post from yesterday? And then I'm like having to like be drawn back, like, oh no, this is a post from like 3 months ago, and they're bringing it up yesterday, trying to act like he just put it out today, and that none of the stuff on it happened.
So let's take a look at facts, guys. Facts matter, right? Isn't that a hashtag we used to use? 17th letter of the alphabet.
Yeah, but most other people weren't as committed as some.
Right. So the operators are passing this Trump post around from 9/20/25. Let's take a look at the key positive actions by AG Pam Bondi since this date, September 20th, 2025. Pam Bondi has delivered hard-charged America First priorities since that post. Broad border security, draining the swamp, and real justice. No more talk, just results. Indicted deep state figures, October 2025, charged James Comey and Letitia James. Right here, look. James Comey and Letitia James is in this, okay? Okay, so for weaponization and corruption, appointed special counsel to dig into Adam Schiff. Oh my God, Adam Schiff was also mentioned in here, Shady. Okay, special counsel to dig into Adam Schiff's mortgage fraud, direct response to President Trump's demand Two-tier justice is dead. Mass deportations of criminal aliens accelerated post-September, sent hundreds of this means train, guys, train, very interesting, gang members straight to El Salvador's CCOT mega prison. Bondi crushed activist judge interference in court, providing oral orders don't override national security, proving oral orders don't override national security. Violent crimes and fentanyl crackdown. 2025, DOJ now hammers gangs and traffickers instead of J6 grandmas, seized record drug loads, appealed the sweetheart 8-year sentence for a Supreme Court justice assassination plot, demanding the full 30. Epstein files release, August to October 2025. Dropped redacted files, confirmed client list, and related JFK, MLK docs are actively under review. No more hiding elite pedophile networks. Okay, they did redact stuff, and there's more coming. Okay, DOJ swamp drain and reorg. February to December, fired weaponized holdovers, handled 575 lawsuits in 127 days, more than the last 20 years combined, and launched the anti-Christian bias task force to defend traditional American values. Bondi's methodical bulldog style is producing airtight wins, guys. Trump allies like James Wood and the MG Show crew have been repeatedly praised her for finally turning the DOJ into a weapon for patriots instead of against them. She is making America safe and respected again, one indictment at a time, one deportation flight at a time. Guys, you can't argue with facts. I'm sorry. JD?
You can't argue with the facts, and also that we do understand that James Comey and Letitia James cases were dismissed. We understand that, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that they didn't get the indictment. They were able to get a grand jury to indict them. We have a corrupt judicial system also in America, guys. A lot of people want to skip over that.
Yeah, but nothing's happening. That's right, Stormrider. See, people don't think anything's happening because all they do is, we need arrests, we need this, we need that, blah, 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 blah. This takes time. You know, hundreds, thousands of years of control over America doesn't end overnight, guys.
And the whole thing, the model that you can look at to see is Tina Peters. What they're doing with Tina Peters is a little bit of the model for you to understand. They're making all of these filings and all these motions and doing all this nonsense with Peter Tickton and Joe Altman towards Tina Peters' case in Colorado. Every single bit of everything that they're doing will fail. They know that it will fail. Do you understand this? 47 in the chat if you understand this. They're doing it because they know it will fail. I know this is foreign to your mind to understand. Like, why would you put all this effort into doing something that doesn't? Yeah. Because they want people to take the black pill. They want people to stop helping. They want people to not go vote. Remember, Lynn Wood said, I ain't going to vote in a rigged election. What if the machines aren't rigged? What if it's the illegals here that are the ones that are the millions of extra votes that are in the system?
Yeah. So this guy says, but the cases were dismissed. Sounds like Cope boys. Well, cope with grand juries already in place in Florida. Cope with that. Okay. I mean, you know, you guys are insane.
They want to prove Trump's wrong. They want to prove they're ineffective. They're desperate to have this little pill that they can take and say, see, I was right. See, I was right.
Did they want Biden to win?
Whenever Q made
Kamala, a vote, did they want Kamala to win? Did you Cope?
Look at the 47s. Look at the 47s. Q told us something very specific that a lot of you aren't going to like me saying. 60 to 70% of all of it is going to never be uncovered.
Yeah.
It said that specifically within the first couple of 100 drops. We as people and human beings to understand what Donald Trump is doing know that.
And I know actually that not every Q proof, because remember he was asked about, do you have a naughty list? And he said, if I release all of it, and that's a Q post proof. That's the post, Shady Groove.
It pretty much is the post. Yes, I can't. We're doing brain surgery, not nuclear war. You guys want nuclear war. And I said it yesterday. Anybody that wants to throw it all out, throw the baby out with the bathwater and burn it all down is worthless to even speak to. You don't even need to be listening to me talk if that's the way that you're, because you've already lost the cynic game. You're already a cynic. You're not even part of the real conversation.
So, Shady, I got big news here real quick. I want to cover this. This is interesting because it's a confirmation. Trump thinks the disgraced former General Flynn acts like a loser. Multiple sources told Zito that Trump thinks Flynn, a retired lieutenant general, comes across as erratic and unserious, with one source saying the president has called the former advisor sort of a loser. Okay. Now, we can also look at his posts, and I agree with this assessment. I can't say that we told you long ago, but Shady, President Trump woke up at 2:45 in the morning to say, because of tariffs easily, quickly applied to our national security. So it's about national security. Wasn't Flynn a national security advisor?
He was, NSA.
And has greatly enhanced as we become the financially strongest country by far anywhere in the world. Only dark and sinister forces would want to see that end, okay? 245 posts, Hussein is evil and a real loser. No special treatment. Shopping around for a new handler. Protection is fun to watch on the SAT spy comms. Morons, all of them. Okay? Look at that, guys. This is confirmed, Shady. 2:45 in the morning.
Think about that. This story yesterday broke from the Daily Beast that we posted in the middle of the day yesterday, saying that Trump thinks Flynn is an effing loser. Okay, what did he say to us? He said, F you POS. Interesting terminology that you would use towards us when we didn't do anything to you, dude. The only thing that we did was notice that
research.
Jeff happened to notice that the guy that was already convicted. See, now you're seeing the corruption of the judicial system that we were talking about before playing out right now. The judge who just threw out the Letitia James Comey. Hang on for a second, you might learn something. The judge that just dismissed this with James Comey and Letitia James, well, that's the same type of judge as the other judge with the crazy white hair that I can't remember his name. It was out there saying, well, we as a judge have the authority to, if the jury gets it wrong, to be able to override the jury. Yeah. That right there, my friends, I want to tell you something very, very clear. That is anti-American. That is anti-Constitution. There's no place in the Constitution. You cannot find anywhere in the Constitution that says after you've been convicted by a jury of your peers that a judge can step in and say, oh, no, they were just joking. You can just go right on about your daily business. That does not exist. That right there, my friends, is the democracy that is a parasite over your republic. Your republic says that if a jury of 12 convict your ass is going to do the time of what you were convicted of. That's what the Constitution says.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this one more time to recap. President Trump posted at 2:45, which equals 47. Who's the 47th president, Shady?
That would be Donald John Trump.
He mentioned national security. Who was his national security advisor in 45?
For 23 days, it was General Michael Flynn,
who got fired for lying. And then he's talking about only dark and sinister forces would want to see that end. Hussein is evil and a real loser, guys. Okay? Spy comms. Could General Flynn be considered a spy, Shady Groove?
Yes, he is a spy. Rubber bullet. That's 100% a spy. He is an infiltrated spy.
I think you can call this a pesky Q proof.
And so grab the, make sure, did you show the headline that was in Daily Beast? I don't know if I maybe missed it. Did you show that was an article? Yep, I do not. I thought you'd had it right in front of you when you were talking about it. I'm so sorry.
Well,
I have it on my timeline, but I will get it.
Yeah. I mean, we need to help each other because I don't have it. I don't know where. Here it is. I got it. I had to scroll a lot. All right, here we go. No. President Donald Trump continues to publicly support his longtime ally, Mike Flynn, but privately he thinks the disgraced former general acts like a loser. Here it is right here. It's the Daily Beast, believe it or not. And they're like, oh, look, it's the Daily Beast. Yeah, but look it for your eyes, Shady Group.
They believed the Daily Beast when the article was about me.
Yeah.
When the article was about you, all these people, they believed everything the Daily Beast said. Yeah. They were like, oh, well, the MG show, Matrix Shady. Whenever this is the publication that had our YouTube taken down. They got got everything that we planned on doing here in this project for you for the last. They tried to stop it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now that publication is coming out and explaining that they have multiple sources saying this about Flynn, and I do not for a second doubt this because look at what Flynn's people are doing. Do you think Donald Trump doesn't know that Ivan Ranklin is Flynn's minion?
No, he has no idea.
Ann Vandersteel, he knows Ann Vandersteel is Flynn's fluffer.
Yeah, I mean it's all we all know too. So to move on, I thought that was an incredible confirmation about the loser comment, guys. Okay, from Q Plus.
It's an amazing confirmation because, like you said, he got up at 2:45 in the morning to make sure that you saw that connection.
Mm-hmm. Guys, there's a lot of naked people, guys.
Oh, that
a lot of naked people in there. What's going on?
That's gonna make Jeff angry. Now I've got to deal with angry Jeff the rest of the day.
Arrgh.
Arrgh.
So this interview is fire, guys. It released this morning, maybe 6 hours ago, and I want to show you this too. Look at this symbolism. Do we see any left eye weird symbolism here, Shady?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, they think they got him again.
So let me read how they want you to hear the video title.
The conversation Dasha burns. Presented by Pharma.
Presented by We Hate Trump.
Wow. All right. So Trump does a really good job. There's a lot of tidbits in here that you guys need to see. And here we go. We're gonna watch it right now, Shady Groove.
All right, I'm gonna pause and commentate.
Pause and commentate. Cram, thank you so much for one subscription. We got one clothes. We got T Mason some clothes. Thank you so much. Here we go. Check it out.
Much for joining the conversation.
Thank you.
So Politico has named you as the most influential person shaping Europe as part of our annual Politico 28 list. Past name.
Now, did you hear that? Politico named him the most influential person in Europe, Shady.
He's influential to white supremacy.
Wow.
Names that have topped the list include President Zelensky, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, and President Viktor Orban. This year, Politico broke.
So out of those names, which one of these is not like the other? Right, Zelensky. Wow, guys.
Precedent to recognize an American for the first time in the history of P28. And sir, there is no question that you are having a seismic impact on the continent and its politics. One of the most pressing issues in Europe right now is the war between Russia and Ukraine. Your team has been going back and forth.
I wouldn't say one, I would say the most.
The most, you're right. Your team has been going back and forth between Putin and Zelensky with various drafts of a peace deal. Which country right now is in the stronger negotiating position?
Well, there can be no question about it. It's Russia. It's a much bigger country. It's a war that should have never happened. Frankly, it wouldn't have happened if I were president, and it didn't happen for 4 years. I watched that taking place, and I said, wow, they're going to cause some problems here. And it started, and it could have evolved into World War III, frankly. I think it's probably not going to be happening now. I think if I weren't president, you could have had World War III. I think you would have had a much bigger problem than you have right now. But right now, it's a big problem. It's a big problem for Europe. And they're not handling it well.
Last night you said that you weren't sure if President Zelensky was fine with the most recent proposal, that he isn't ready. I was hearing from your advisors around Thanksgiving that they thought this thing might be wrapped up by the end of the holiday, but it's still not done. Is Zelensky responsible for the stalled progress, or what's going on there?
Well, he's got to read the proposal. He hadn't he hasn't read it yet.
The most recent draft.
That's as of yesterday. And maybe he's read it over the night. It would be nice if he would read it. You know, a lot of people are dying, so it would be really good if he'd read it. His people loved the proposal. They really liked it. His lieutenants, his top people, they liked it. But they said he hasn't read it yet. I think he should find time to read it.
Is it time for Ukraine to hold an election, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a long time. It hasn't been doing particularly well. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's an important time to hold an election. You know, they're using war not to hold an election, but I would think the Ukrainian people would, should have that choice, and maybe Zelensky would win. I don't know who would win, but they haven't had an election in a long time. You know, they talk about a democracy, but it gets to a point where it's not a democracy anymore.
On Sunday, your son, Donald Trump Jr., responded to a reporter's question about whether you will, quote, walk away from Ukraine. And your son said, I think he may. Is that correct?
No, it's not correct, but it's not exactly wrong. We have to, they have to play ball if they don't read agreements, potential agreements. It's not easy with Russia because Russia has the upper hand. And they always did. They're much bigger. They're much stronger in that sense. I give Ukraine I give the people of Ukraine and the military of Ukraine tremendous credit for the, bravery and for the fighting and all of that. But, at some point, size will win generally. And this is a massive size. You take a look at the numbers. I mean, the numbers are just crazy. This is not a war that should have happened. This is a war that would have never happened if I were president. It's so sad. Millions of people are dead. many, many soldiers. You know, last month they lost 27,000 soldiers and some people from missiles being launched into Kiev and other places. But what a sad thing for humanity. You know, this doesn't affect us. Our country is no longer paying any money. It was Biden gave him $350 billion so stupidly. And, you know, if he wouldn't have given it, maybe something else would have happened. But Putin had no respect for Biden, and he had no respect for Zelensky, didn't like Zelensky. They really hate each other. And part of the problem is they hate each other really a lot, you know? And it's very hard for them to try and make a deal. It's harder than most. I settled 8 wars, and this, I would have said, this is the 9th. This would have been the easiest one I would have said, or one of the easier ones. I mean, I settled one that was going on for 36 years. I settled Pakistan and India. I settled so many wars. I'm very proud of it. And I do it pretty routinely, pretty easily. It's not hard for me to do. It's what I do. I make deals. But this one is tough. One of the reasons is the level of hatred between Putin and Zelensky is tremendous.
And you're right, you're not spending money, but you sort of are spending your time and your energy on this.
I want to stop saving, you know, I want to stop seeing people killed.
If this deal, if Zelensky rejects this deal, like, is there a timeline? Is there a point at which you say, okay?
Well, he's going to have to get on the ball and start accepting things. You know, when you're losing, because you're losing.
Do you think Ukraine has lost this war?
Well, they've lost territory long before I got here. They lost a whole strip of seafront, big seafront. I mean, you look at the maps. I've been here for 10 months. But
yeah, just wanted to jump in as the way that she's trying to like wrap this around, characterize like what it is that he's been doing and what it is that we're doing in Ukraine. See, you can already tell that she really doesn't know what's going on there. So for the people that don't know, Ukraine has already lost a huge chunk, if not, I would say probably somewhere around 15%, maybe 20% of the eastern part of their country. In other words, within a couple of months, Russia controlled those territories. Russia got rid of pretty much all the infiltrators in there. The people that were there were associated with the Russian society more than they were with Ukraine society. They've assimilated now. It's been a couple of years. So the idea that she's saying, oh, do you think Ukraine has lost the war? In the sense of a regular dynamic of a war, yes, Ukraine has already lost the war. They will not regain that territory. They are not going to regain that territory. And it doesn't matter how many bombs anybody drops on Russia, they're not going to capitulate that territory. So just so everybody here with us is on the same page to understanding what's going on, because she paints it like, you know, like there's some sort of determination coming in the future. The only determination is, when are you going to stop killing each other? Russia is not trying to take more territory. They're simply defending the territory that they've already taken. And Ukraine is trying to take the territory that they lost to Russia before Trump a long time ago. They're trying to get it back.
You go back 10 months and take a look. They lost that whole strip. It's now a bigger strip. It's a wider strip, but they lost a lot of land, and it's very good land, too, that they lost. You certainly wouldn't say it's a victory. I can show you a chart. It's a lot of land they lost.
It's a lot of land. I think
think of it. If our election wasn't rigged.
So I hope people are seeing that we are on the same page as President Trump, and we have been this whole damn time, Shady.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's really amazing. Like, as we effortlessly navigate the political landscape, everybody else is trying to make you think that navigating the political landscape is absolutely impossible. To me, it seems easier than it has ever been.
Yeah. Once you have the eyes to see, Shady Groove.
You can't not see.
Not see it.
Right.
Exactly. Nothing to see here. Here we go.
There was a rigged election. Now everyone knows it. It's going to come out over the next couple of months too, loud and clear, because we have all the information there. But if the election wasn't rigged and stolen, you wouldn't even be talking about Ukraine right now.
The resounding consensus in Europe right now is that they want to keep supporting Ukraine until they can win this war.
Until they drop, yeah.
Is that realistic in your view?
I mean, look, then they should support it. Europe I'm friendly with all of them. I mean, I like all of them. I have no real enemy. I've had a couple that I didn't like over the years. I actually like the current crew. I like them a lot. But and I know them very well. I know them really well. Some are friends, some are okay. I know the good leaders, I know the bad leaders, I know the smart ones, I know the stupid ones. You get some real stupid ones too. But they're not doing a good job. Europe is not doing a good job in many ways. They're not doing a good job.
I want to ask
They
you
talk
about
too
that.
much, and they're not producing. We're talking about Ukraine. They talk, but they don't produce. And the war just keeps going on and on. I mean, 4 years now it's been going on, long before I got here. This is not my war. This is Joe Biden's war. And in terms of America, it's a very sad thing. And the only reason I really care about it is because I hate to see young, beautiful people being killed. That's largely why I got involved. I mean,
Such a terrible man.
Yeah.
Wow.
It really is interesting that you don't see another human. Do you see another person in politics standing up and saying the words like, I'm just tired of seeing young people killed?
Yeah.
See, the extinctionists and the media will never give you that message. They'll never tell you that you should have compassion for young people dying, because that gives you empathy for the next generation. You see, an extinctionist doesn't want you thinking about the next generation. They don't want you procreating. What they want you to do is just thinking about like what it is you can't figure out about your gender, like bouncing back and forth like marbles in your eyeball sockets because you can't figure out what you are. You're so confused you could never see the political landscape and have empathy for young people losing their lives to nonsense.
I mean, I do. You know, a lot of people that fight in wars are fighting wars for politicians, and then they come home and realized that they were fighting
Yeah.
A lot of people that I
that leads me to explaining the reality of whenever you have this dynamic of the generals, right? The generals out there in that they make the war plan. So you had these generals during Vietnam, these generals during Operation Desert Storm, these generals during the Iraq, the generals during Afghanistan. Look at what all these people did. What did they do? They sent the troops in to do something that was impossible and is basically into a meat grinder, while they sat back and collected all of the funding and got fat and happy.
Yeah, the payoff.
That's the payoff, right? But you get paid off because you send these people in there and make stupid decisions at the behest of stupid politicians.
At the behest of the bloodline families that want to do this to you.
And then we're supposed to sit here and act like that it's not going on.
Right. Right. God bless President Trump for wanting to end wars because of senseless unaliving.
But isn't it great the way that he could just focus in on what you actually consider important, and all these other people, they think this other stuff is important. They think that what Candace Owens has to say is important. They think that, screaming and yelling about Israel, this guy I'm having a conversation with last night, he's screaming about Zionism. I'm like, you don't even know what a Zionist is. Explain to me what a Zionist is. Then he starts calling me names. I was like, exactly. You don't have a clue what you're talking about. You're
ad hominem attacks.
Right. You're just either a repeater or you're like a bot or something.
Both?
Maybe there's a lot of both. Yeah.
A repeater bot. Here we go. Back to President Trump. This is an amazing interview, guys.
Finn says he's
Jeff,
going on 14 million people at least killed. Nobody.
Finn says that he's caught up, that he's done with the Alvin and Chipmunks. So Finn got behind and he listens to us at double speed. I cannot imagine, sir, how bad that is to have to listen
Thank
to.
you very much, Finn, for double speed. We're going to be on regular speed right now. Could you imagine you hearing this on double speed right now? Oh my God, Shady.
Turn it on to double speed while he's doing double speed. It's like, what was it? It was like a 45 and a 33. Like, what was the high speed on a record player?
75?
75, 70 something, right? Yeah. We're in double speed.
Oh my God. Here we
Finn,
go.
God bless you, sir.
But killed machetes, a lot of machete killings, vicious. But if you look at the wars, and some of the wars that really were going to be millions and millions of people, the Prime Minister of Pakistan said, I saved millions of people by getting involved with the, stopping India and Pakistan from fighting.
I do want to go back to Europe for a moment, though, because you said they're not doing a lot of things right in your view. And just
well,
last...
they can't be doing do right, because look what's happened.
Well, your administration just released a new national security strategy that sent shockwaves throughout Europe. The strategy says a key pillar of American foreign policy should be, quote, cultivating resistance to Europe's current trajectory within European nations. How much should European leaders prepare for your administration to push to reshape the continent's politics?
Well, Europe is a different place.
What do you mean by that?
And if it keeps going the way it's going, Europe will not be, in my opinion, many of those countries will not be viable countries any longer. Their immigration policy is a disaster. What they're doing with immigration is a disaster. We had a disaster coming, but I was able to stop it. We have no people coming through our borders now. 0, 7 months. I mean, who would believe 0? We went from millions of people, in some cases millions of people a month, but millions of people to no people.
That's not what Europe looks like.
The opposite, yeah. I know Europe, they're coming in from all parts of the world, not just the Middle East. They're coming in from the Congo, tremendous numbers of people coming from the Congo. And even worse, they're coming from prisons of the Congo and many other countries. And for some reason, they want to be politically correct, which actually I think is the opposite of politically correct, but they want to be politically correct and they don't want to send them back to where they came from. And Europe is, if you take a look at Paris, it's a much different place. I loved Paris. It's a much different place than it was. If you take a look at London, you have a mayor named Khan. He's a horrible mayor. He's an incompetent mayor, but he's a horrible, vicious, disgusting mayor. I think he's done a terrible job. London's a different place. I love London. I love London. And I hate to see it happen. My roots are in Europe, as you know.
Right.
And I hate to see that happen. This is one of the great places in the world, and they're allowing people just to come in and unchecked, unvetted.
So how involved are you going to get? I mean, could we see you getting involved in European elections,
I want to run the United
example?
States. I don't want to run Europe. I'm involved in Europe very much.
Might you endorse
NATO
candidates?
calls me daddy. I mean, I have a lot to say about it. Look, I raised, the GDP from 2% to 5%. The 2% they weren't paying and the 5% they are paying. And they're paying it because when we send things over, NATO pays for it, and I assume they give it to Ukraine. But Europe is being destroyed.
Would you consider getting involved in some of those elections to put in leaders that you think are better suited?
Well, I've endorsed people, but I've endorsed people that a lot of Europeans don't like. I've endorsed Viktor Orban. I endorsed, go back to South America, Latin America, South America, Milei, Argentina. He was losing the election, and I endorsed him, and he won in a landslide.
Yeah, with Viktor Orban, beyond endorsing, he recently said that you promised him access to U.S.-backed financial shield worth up to $20 billion. Is that right?
No, I didn't promise him, but he certainly asked for it. But
would you consider giving that to him?
I just think he's doing a very good job in a different sense on immigration. His country's landlocked. He's got a different kind of a country. He doesn't have the sea, so he can't have ships coming in with energy. He's got a big pipe coming in from Russia. They've had it for a long time. It's a different situation he's got.
So would you consider some financial assistance there?
He's really gotten right is the immigration, because he allows nobody in his country. And Poland has done a very good job in that respect, too. But most European nations, they're decaying. They're decaying.
You can imagine some leaders in Europe are a little freaked out by what your posture is, and European.
No, they should be freaked out by what they're doing to their countries. They're destroying their countries.
Well, European Council President.
And they're people I like. Look, they're people I like. I get along with them. You know that. But they can't let this happen. And it gets to a point where you can't really correct it. There'll be a point, and it's very close to that point.
And what will that mean?
It will mean that they're no longer going to be strong nations.
Does that mean they won't be allies
Or
anymore?
they'll be, well, it depends, it depends. They'll change their ideology, obviously, because the people coming in have a totally different ideology. But it's going to make them much weaker. They'll be much weaker, and they'll be much different.
And what will that mean for our relationship
look at
with
your mayor
them?
of London. He's a disaster. He's got a totally different ideology of what he's supposed to have. And he gets elected because so many people have come in and they vote for him now because, it's like, it's one of those things. But I hate what's happened to London, and I hate what's happened to Paris. I hate when I see it.
Sir, it's sometimes hard to tell when you say these things. Do you intend to send kind of a message of tough love to our allies to push them to make reforms? Or do you think that many of them are just weak and you don't really want to be allies with them?
I think they're weak, but I also think that they want to be so politically correct. I think they don't know what to do. Europe doesn't know what to do. They don't know what to do on trade either. I mean, I look at a lot of the trade, situation that's going on over there. It's a little bit dangerous, but Europe, they want to be politically correct, and it makes them weak. That's what makes them weak.
It sounds like you want to see some pretty massive changes.
Well, I think they should get the people out that came into the country illegally.
I want to ask about NATO.
If you take a look at Sweden, so Sweden was known as the safest country in Europe, one of the safest countries in the world. Now it's known as a very unsafe, pretty unsafe country. It's not even believable. It's a whole different country, Sweden.
And Sweden most recently joined NATO. One of the things that the national security strategy says is that the U.S. should work toward ending the perception and preventing the reality of NATO as a perpetually expanding alliance. Are there countries in NATO that you think shouldn't be in the alliance?
Well,
Sweden,
there
for
are
example?
countries that are difficult for NATO. Not that they shouldn't be. I think it's good to have them. Turkey's an example. Erdogan, he's a friend of mine. Whenever they have a problem with Erdogan, they ask me to call because they can't speak to him. He's a tough cookie. I actually like him a lot. I think actually, look, he's built a strong country, strong military, but they have a hard time dealing with him, and they ask me to call him. And I do call him, and I always work it out with him. He and I work it out really quickly. We had some people that he released that were taken and going through years and years of court cases and everything else. And I said, you got to release him. And he did. He is, very different than a lot of the other leaders. But they have a hard time with him, but they shouldn't really have a hard time.
Should NATO stop accepting new members? Should NATO end where it is now?
Well, there aren't that many left when you get right down to it, right? There aren't that many left. It was always, long before Putin, it was an understanding that Ukraine would not be going into NATO. This was long before Putin, in all fairness. And now they pushed, when Zelensky first went in and first met Putin, he said, I want two things. I want Crimea back, and we're going to be a member of NATO. He didn't say it in a very nice way either. He's a great salesman. I call him P.T. Barnum. You know who P.T. Barnum was, right?
I do.
One of the greatest on earth. He could sell any product at any time. That was his expression. I can sell any product at any time. It was true. He said, doesn't matter whether it works or not. But he's P.T. Barnum. He got crooked Joe Biden to give him $350 billion. And look what it got. It got him about 25% of his country is missing. And in all fairness to Biden, Obama gave away Crimea.
Right, that all happened in 2014.
Obama, because Crimea was the heart. I'm a real estate person at heart, right? I'm very good at real estate. And every time I look at that map, I said, oh, this Crimea is so beautiful. Wow. It's surrounded on four sides by ocean. It's only got a little piece of land to get to, to the main, Crimea is massive, but it connects the part of Ukraine that we talk about now through a small little jetty. It's four sides of ocean in the warmest part. It's got the best weather, best everything. And I know you are Ukrainian, and you know Ukraine very well. And Obama forced them to give up Crimea. That was I remember when it happened, but I wasn't involved like I am now. To the knowledge that I have now, I have great knowledge of Ukraine now. I have great knowledge of
really
many
this
countries.
conflict began back in 2014. People forget, long before the invasion of a few years ago.
Well, when this conflict really began, though, it was simmering for years. But when Obama gave up Crimea, that was a big thing.
I do want to ask.
Do you agree with that? That was a big piece to give up. You are of Ukrainian descent.
That was a major, I remember, when I first moved to the United States, a lot of people didn't know what Ukraine even was. And it was in 2014 that people suddenly started to realize how significant geopolitically that area really is.
I just say, from the standpoint of beauty, weather, everything, Crimea is the warmest. It's just got such great potential. And Obama forced them. Obama did this. This is not Biden. Well, maybe he was involved, but I doubt it. He probably didn't know too much then either. He was never the brightest bulb. But, Obama gave away. He made them give it away.
Well, I do think your approach to Europe is so different than any of your predecessors. And
I just want to see a strong Europe.
And this national security strategy, says a lot about the changes that you want.
But you have to understand, here's my approach to Europe. I want to see a strong Europe. When they allow millions of people to pour into their countries, many of these people are committing tremendous crimes. And again, look at Sweden. I'm not knocking Sweden. I love Sweden. I love the people of Sweden. But they go from a crime-free country to a country that has a lot of crime now. Look at Germany. Germany was crime-free, and Angela made two big mistakes: immigration and energy. But those two are beauties.
Well, one country that is pleased with the change in strategy from the United States is Russia. A Kremlin spokesperson called the strategy document a, quote, positive step, and said the adjustments they're seeing are, quote, largely consistent with Moscow's vision. Do you think that's a good thing?
Well, I think he'd like to see a weak Europe. And to be honest with you, he's getting that. That has nothing to do with me.
But he thinks the changes that you're making and what you laid out in your vision for Europe is what Moscow wants to see.
I have no vision for Europe. All I want to see is a strong Europe. Look, I have a vision for the United States, America first. It's make America great again. I do explain
you ever
to
heard
Europe
of that?
because I think, I'm supposed to be a very smart person. I have eyes. I have ears. I have knowledge. I have vast knowledge.
Wait, didn't I just say people that have the eyes to see and the ears to hear? Didn't I just say that, Shady? I didn't see this today. This is weird.
This is awesome, actually.
Wow.
See what's happening. I get reports that you will never see. And I think it's horrible what's happening to Europe. I think it's endangering Europe as we know it. Europe could be a whole different place.
Your impact.
And I think the European people should do something about it.
Your impact does stretch far beyond Europe. I want to talk about another area where you're making your mark, which is in Venezuela. You've said that Nicolas Maduro's days are numbered and that the U.S. could soon strike Venezuelan territory. Could we see American troops on the ground in Venezuela?
I don't comment on that. I wouldn't say that one way or the other. I can say this. That,
You're an idiot.
He sent us millions of people, many from prisons, many drug dealers and drug lords, mental institution, people in mental institutions. He sent them into our country where we had a very stupid president. You know that. Biden's a low IQ person, especially nowadays. I mean, he was low IQ 30 years ago, but he was especially low IQ now. And what he did to our country is not good. Trend era. A lot of drugs. So we'll see how it all works out. But I can't talk about
So
strategy.
how far would you go to take Maduro out of office?
I don't want to say that, but
But you want to see him out?
his days are numbered.
Can you rule out an American ground invasion?
I don't want to rule in or out. I don't talk about it. Why would I talk to you, an extremely unfriendly publication, if you want to call it Politico, that got $8 million from Obama to keep it afloat? Why would I do that? Why would I talk about that to Politico? I mean, I'm doing this because you picked me as a man
Well,
for
I'm
Europe, and I
asking
thought it was
for
appropriate
transparency
thing to
for their American people, because a lot of folks are.
Yeah.
He's the most transparent president ever, guys.
Lord, lady.
Well, people are
I'll tell
wondering
you, I am
what
the
is.
most transparent politician maybe in the world.
A lot of
okay?
folks are wondering what our goals are in
Sure, but
Venezuela.
I don't want to talk to you about military strategy.
Well, may I ask then, what is your goal in Venezuela? What do you want to see with the actions that you're taking?
Well, one goal is I want the people of Venezuela to be treated well. I want the people of Venezuela, many of whom live in the United States, to be respected. I mean, they were tremendous to me. They voted for me 94% or something. I mean, it's incredible. I own a big project, Doral. It's a great place, Doral Country Club. Yeah, and it's a very large place, beautiful place, right in the middle of, they call it Little Venezuela. And I got to know the Venezuelan people very well because of that. I've owned it for a long time. And they're unbelievable people. The area is such a successful area. Everybody is successful. It's amazing. They say if a house is for sale for more than 3 days, there's something wrong. I mean, a house, if somebody wants to sell their house, they sell it in just a matter of moments. People love the area. And I got to know the people well. They're incredible people. And they were treated horribly by Maduro.
And are those the kind of immigrants that you do want to see in America?
Well, they certainly contribute. Yeah, I want to see people. Yeah, I want to see people that contribute. I don't want to see Somalia. I don't want to see a woman that marries her brother to get in and then becomes a congressman, does nothing but complain. All she does is complain, 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 and yet her country's a mess. It's one of the worst in the world. Let her go back, fix up her own country. Somalia, yeah, and I was right about it. I started complaining about Somalia long before the scandal.
2016, we played it here on the MG show.
The horrible things they're doing to Minnesota, it's incredible. They have an incompetent governor there, too. The Democrats are running some bad ships.
Speaking of ships, I do want to talk about the boat strikes. The defense secretary, should he testify, Pete Hegseth, under oath before Congress about that controversial second strike on the alleged drug boat on October?
I don't care if he does. 2nd? He can if he wants. I don't care.
Do you think he should?
I don't care. I would say do it if you want. Pete. He's doing a great job.
Have you watched the video?
He was stopping. I watched everything. Yeah, I watch everything. I see a lot of things.
And do you believe that second strike was necessary?
Well, it looked like they were trying to turn back over the boat, but I don't get involved in that. That's up to them. The admiral that did that is a highly respected, as you know, a highly respected man. And we save 25,000 people every time we knock out a boat. On average, they kill 25,000 Americans. So, I don't like doing that, but the drugs coming in through the sea are down by 92%. And I'm trying to figure out the 8%. Who are they? Nobody wants to drive boats to America loaded up with drugs anymore.
Well, I do want to ask,
and we're going to hit them on land very soon, too.
Almost all the illicit fentanyl in the United States is actually produced in Mexico using precursor chemicals from China, according to the DEA. And Venezuela isn't a significant source.
So let's stick up for Venezuelan drug boats now, huh, Shady?
Listen, this is unbelievable that this is the line of questioning that they're getting ready to go down because of the reality of the Venezuela is the channel. It's the pass through. A lot of this stuff is made in South America. It's made in Colombia, actually, some of it in Brazil, and it gets passed through because Colombians and Brazilians are a little bit smarter than Venezuelans. They're not willing to get in boats and bring the stuff north, you see? So you got to take it into Venezuela to find idiots who are willing to get into boats and to drive the stuff north. That's where the discrepancy is. It doesn't matter that it's not being produced in Venezuela, and you don't really even know that it isn't.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Let's see what we got here. We got very cool, Shady.
All right.
All right, we got a couple minutes. We're going to keep playing. And then real quick, here we go.
Transit country for fentanyl. It barely appears on the DEA's trafficking assessments.
Yeah. Well, they do send lots of drugs. Those boats come in largely from Venezuela, so I would say that's a significant. And you can see the drugs. You can see these bags all over the boat. I mean, just bags and bags.
So if it's about drugs,
bags.
Would you consider?
But let me tell you what they do. They send really, really bad people into our country, and they've done it better than anybody else. They emptied their prisons into our country, and these prisoners are seriously tough. They entered, all of their prisons have been emptied into the United States of America. Murderers, 11,888 murderers.
So is this about making sure Maduro sees justice then?
11,888 murderers.
It's about protecting the children and...
They don't care about that. They care about the illegals that got blowed up on the drug boat.
They got blowed up real good.
They're going to keep
Guess
getting
what,
blowed up.
Shady Grove? I voted for that.
Yeah, I'd vote for that.
That is a
again
true war on drugs, Shady. I'm sorry, but
I agree.
I'm fired up.
today. I'd vote on it again today, wouldn't you?
I'd vote on it right now. Yes.
Yeah, but I'd vote to blow it up.
Wow. All right, guys. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Take a 5-minute, get some popcorn, get some kefefe. Yeti, take it away.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's at 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and
But
such.
there is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spilty, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back in stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our MyPillow bed sheets only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. How about our My Towels? They're finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first time and the only time ever, get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
My Pillow is excited to announce they're having their biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back in stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. My Pillow bed sheets, only $29.88, any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. My Towels are finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first and only time, get their limited edition premium My Pillows made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queens, $17.98. Kings, only $19.98. Also, for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you will receive free shipping plus $100 in free digital gifts. So go to mypillow.com or call 800-873-0478 and use promo code MGSHOW. Use your promo code for the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
choice. It's always been yours. A voice they can't silence, breaking through the noise. They pull the strings, they set the stage, divide us with wars, lock us in a cage. Race and class, faith and fear, they scream so loud, but we're still here. Through MG show, the truth breaks free. MG music lifts us, a rallying plea. Power to the people, hear the call ignite. Dark to light, we're stepping out tonight. They're losing grip, their shadows fade. Together we stand unafraid.
Sing it, everybody. Come on, let's
Power
go.
to the people. We'll never let it go. They shame the brave, they chain the free. Group think marching, but not for me. Hollywood glitters, leaders deceive, but MG show shines, makes us believe. Defend the chaos, push the dread. Nuclear whispers, words they bled. MG music plays a rebel sound. The truth is clear, it's all around. Power to the people, hear the call ignite. Dark to light, we're stepping out tonight. They're losing grip, their shadows fade. Together we stand unafraid. Oh, power to the people. Oh, we'll never let it go. We planned, we fought, we took the reins. Through the storm, through the chains. Antifa rises, fears their game. But MG show calls out their shame. Sheep may follow, blind and weak. MG music wakes us, truth we seek. God bless the brave, the heart sincere. From every shore, the call is clear. Power to the people, hear the call ignite. Dark to light, we're stepping out tonight. They're losing grip, their shadows fade. Together we stand unafraid. Oh, power to the people. Oh, we'll never let it go. Stand firm, be strong, the words resound. All men are equal on sacred ground. MG show leads, MG music sings. The people's power spreads its wings.
Power to the people.
Power to the people. Oh, power to the people.
We rise. Oh, man, I just love that song. Thank you very much for being here today on the MG Show. YouTube.com/InTheMatrix with 3 X's. Rumble.com/MG Show. X.com/InTheMatrix with 3 X's. Spotify, not there. But all the other podcast platforms, we're there, Shady Groove.
We're absolutely there. And, whenever you listen to that and you start to think about power to the people and you start to think about what this country means to you and what it means to all of us. And the problem that we have is not the fact that the people have power. The problem that we have is that people have bad information. Okay. Yep. And the problem is that the people don't have bad information by accident. The people have bad information on purpose. Yeah. And so whenever we came to this conversation to counterbalance an insane, radical, left-wing, ideological news media agenda. And now what we're doing is we're currently fighting the exact same types of personalities, except at some point they pivoted and pretended that they were supportive of Donald Trump, only to now be pulling the rug and acting like, oh, well, they are a, a fair weather patriot They're only a patriot whenever the sun is shining, sir. They're not a patriot whenever the snow is blowing. They're not a patriot whenever the road is frozen over. And they're not a patriot in a hailstorm.
We're sunshine patriots, Shady Groove, right? I mean, we are patriots. We're like the mail company of Patriot Shady Groove. And that brings up a good point. Nana No says MAGA has been under lots of attacks and needs some healing. No, MAGA is doing just fine. I believe people are listening to the wrong people, believing the wrong information, and not checking on their own. The truth is learned, never told. We have been infiltrated, and maybe we need to do some, what do you call it when you, the Catholic priest comes in and expunges demons? Maybe we need to
exorcism.
Yeah, we need an exorcism of the infiltration of MAGA. How's that?
Well, let's just take it for what it is on its face. Just take a look at who the people are. Take a look at who the people are. Take a look at who the people are and who they voted for in 2012. Okay? Take a look at that dynamic whenever you talk about Candace Owens or Ian Carroll or all of these other numbnuts that have come out here to make platforms who somehow, were Democrat, Russell Brand, for instance, or any of these other people that are out there spreading this nonsense that is literally InfoWars nonsense, guys. You talk about all of this stuff with Candace Owens and everything that's happening. It's InfoWars inundated nonsense. They blend a little bit of things that are true to get your ears perked up. And the next thing you know, you're in a rabbit hole drinking things that make you big and small.
That's right. That's right. Wow. All right. So, on YouTube, 24/7 Smiles says, love the song. Thank you so much. We love that you love it. Shady Groove.
Do you love it?
I love it. Do you love it? I love it. And we want to go back to this fire interview. We do have a ways to go through it because of the commentary, but it is worth it, guys. Let's continue the conversation with the blonde wingnut. You ready?
Yes. I'm ready.
Wingnut meaning the interviewer, not our president, Donald J. Trump.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No, you're not blonde. You're redhead.
Okay.
Were entered into our country, and Stupid Joe took all those people, and now we're getting them out. We're finding them. We found a lot of them, and we're getting them out, or we're putting them in jail. Some are so dangerous and so bad that we don't want to put them back in their country because they'll find a way to get back in. But these are stone cold murderers. But every time we knock out a boat, we save 25,000 American lives.
So would you consider doing something similar with Mexico and Colombia that are even more responsible for fentanyl trafficking into the U.S.?
Sure, I would.
All right, real quick, guys. This is big news. This is Chicago Steak Company. Let me just interrupt the president really quick. What do you give someone who already has everything? You give them the sound of a perfect sear. Oh, you love it. Head to mychicagosteak.com/rumble. Use that code rumble. Chicago Steak Company is top 2% beef in America. USDA prime and premium Angus, hand cut by master butchers. The kind of marbling that hits a hot pan and fills the whole house with that beautiful smell. That buttery meat goodness. You know the one. Spend $229 on the holiday order today, and your gift arrives at your loved one's door with 6 free petite ribeyes. Oh my gosh. Plus free shipping. That's $240 in premium steak, absolutely free. Then there's the unboxing. A black and gold gift box, well worth unwrapping. Packed with dry ice, smoke rolling out when they crack it open. Christmas morning energy. It's not just another sweater. It's that dinner that becomes a memory. mychicagosteak.com/rumble. Use code rumble. RUMBLE.
Something you can sink your teeth into.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, my goodness. What did you say? Angus hand cut?
I'm hungry right now.
I'm so hungry. Good Lord. It's early, too. It's breakfast time.
Speaking, and here's Donald Trump going against the deep steak. Here we go. Is that a good pun? That was a good pun.
No.
You pardoned former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez and let him out of prison. He was convicted in a massive international drug trafficking scheme. How is that?
And by the way, he was pardoned from America, and now they want to arrest him in that other country. I can't remember where he's from, but who cares?
Okay, but no, I'm not ready. Hang on just a second. I'm going to give you some context to this guy because all of the psychopaths out there want to make you confused. So let me explain what happened to this dude. Juan got the shakedown, because all what Juan was doing was sharing information with the American authorities about the people that were down there in Honduras doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Well, Juan shared information about the wrong people with the federal government. Well, the federal government under Joe Biden were not very happy with Juan telling on those people. So they decided to do all the things to Juan that Juan was saying the other people were doing. So because Juan was turning in the other drug dealers, they decided to prosecute him like he was the drug dealers, not the whistleblower of the drug dealers. Yes, he was participating, but just like any other person that you would pull in out of an organization and shake them down and get all the information off them, he cut a deal. And the deal that he cut was he would roll over on all these people and explain what happened to him, and he would probably get a pardon and maybe become the next president of Honduras. But this lady is going to run a narrative on you and not share any of that information whatsoever.
Kind of wild, isn't it?
It really is.
When do birds sing? Right?
It's almost like the media is in charge of protecting the drug trafficking, Jeff. And the media kept telling us that there was no other trafficking constantly. So it's very interesting that they seem like they're running cover for the drug trafficking.
mgshow.link/JeffFB. We'll get you right to my Facebook, guys. Thank you. And there's Shannon's right there. Go to his Facebook. Go ahead and follow him as well. And our show is on Facebook as well. All right, back to this reporter. Here we go.
The conversation.
The conversation.
Pro-tolerance on drug trafficking.
Well, I don't know him, and I know very little about him, other than people said it was like a Obama-Biden type setup where he was set up. He was the president of the country. The country deals in drugs like probably you could say that about every country. And because he was the president, they gave him like 45 years in prison. And there are many people fighting for Honduras, very good people that I know, and they think he was treated horribly, and they asked me to do it, and I said, I'll do it.
Do you think that could send the wrong message to drug dealers?
No, I don't think so. Look, I think, when you weaponize government, they've weaponized their government just like they did over here. I'm one of the people that survived, but they weaponized the government. We had the most weaponized government. Our election was rigged. They went after me. I was impeached twice. I was indicted. They indicted me. I came out good. Here we are in the White House. Things are looking nice, but they were vicious, and they are vicious. They're sick people.
We've talked a lot about foreign policy. You've spent a ton of your first year focused on those conflicts around the world, and that has led to some concerns, even from your own supporters, that there hasn't been enough focus on some of the issues here at home. I know that this week you're going back out on the trail, giving me flashbacks of covering your rallies here. You're hitting the road to talk about the economy. I wonder, sir, what grade would you give your economy right now?
Before I answer that, let me just tell you something. I've watched stupid people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, or some people call her Taylor Greene, some people call her Taylor Brown, because green sometimes turns to brown, which isn't nice. But I've watched her say that he spends too much time on foreign. Well, by doing that, and first of all, it doesn't take a lot of time. I made one trip. I brought back trillions of dollars on that one trip. I stopped in Japan. I stopped in South Korea. I met with President Xi and ended what could have been a big problem. You went to the Middle East. I was on that trip with you. Went to the Middle East. I brought back $3 trillion from the Middle East. I sold many Boeing airplanes on that trip, like 300. When I go on a trip, I only have one place in mind. It's the United States. So when people with low IQs like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a low IQ person, when she says it's too. But she was a loyal person until I wasn't able to answer her phone calls because I'm just too busy to answer people's phone calls. You can't call me 3 times a day. And it's just, not appropriate when I have, over 200 congressmen, 53 senators, 212 countries. All of these people are calling, and a family. Actually, the family suffers. It's harder for me to call back the family. But when you think of what I've done, remember rare earth and the problem with magnets and all of these things that was going to shut down the whole world. I worked it out with President Xi. We have a good relationship. I worked it out with President Xi. Very favorable to the United States. Does come back to the economy in the U.S., right? You made a statement, though, that I devote too much time to outside of the United States. I've made a fortune for the United States by focusing
And to
on
be
things
clear, that's not
outside.
my statement. That's just what some of your supporters and some others have said.
Well, then, you know.
To be clear, I'm a snot-nosed little.
I can't imagine their supporters because I made a fortune and spend very little time. All of my time is spent here. Most of my time is spent here. But when I do go outside, it's only going outside for here. For instance, settling and solving the problem with China, that has a huge effect in the United States. Making deals with Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, all of these countries, you're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars. So I guess I could say, let's not deal with anybody. We wouldn't have much of a country.
Well,
we wouldn't have much of an economy. We make a lot of money with these countries. Now, in the past, these countries all ripped us off. If you go back during Biden, if you go back during Obama, they were ripping us off like no country's ever been ripped off. That's why we owe $38 trillion. I mean, we owe it for a reason. But just remember, when we had a problem with China very recently, I was able to work that out. You don't work that out by not talking to people, by not answering. So with the magnets, with the rare earth, it was a big problem.
And you're looking to have an impact here back home.
Well, no, impact. We would have been shut down. China would have been shut down. The whole world would have been shut down. So wait a minute. So some people would say, don't focus on anything outside of our border. I like that too. But I've made trillions and trillions of dollars and solved problems and solved wars. Do you know most of the wars that I solved were solved sitting behind the Oval Office desk on a telephone? I think those are worthy phone calls.
Take that,
Even
MTG.
if they didn't impact us to save millions of lives from another country, and if I can do that easily because I have an ability, are pretty good.
But I do want to talk about the economy, sir, here at home. And I wonder what grade you would give
A plus.
A plus.
Yeah, A plus, 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 plus.
Well, it's interesting because I talked to a supporter of yours. Her name is Melanie from Westmoreland County, PA, and she loves you. She gave you overall an A plus plus grade. But here's what she said about the economy. She said, quote, groceries, utility, insurance, and the basic cost of running small business keep rising faster than wages. She also says that not enough is being done. Mr. President, this is one of your supporters.
Okay, good. And I love her because you said I got an A plus on everything, I guess. I don't know. But
she's still worried about the economy.
But what you have to understand, the word affordability.
Real quick, he said plus, 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 plus. Those are in Q posts, Shady.
A number of them.
Yeah, right here. These are them right there. The attempted coup treason opens the public door for more. Serious, ... The pill must be easy to swallow. The lead-in, the public must be prepared for what is about to come. The Clinton Foundation, plus, 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 plus. Repeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5. All right, prior to plus, 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 James Comey firing, plus, 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 RR. Look at this, guys. Interview dates. All right, and then is the stage set for the HRC drop plus, 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 raw vid, X raw vid. We have it all. The nail in many coffins, liberal undo, impossible to defend, toxic to those connected. We must work together. We are only as strong as your voice. You must be organized and be heard. This is why they keep you divided and in the dark, weak. They are here to unite and provide truth, dark to light. Evil surrounds us. We are fighting for you. Where we go one, we go all. The choice to know will be yours. End. Wow. Snot-nosed little reporter. You ready, Shady, to go back, or you want to make a comment? What do you want to do?
Oh, let's go. We go back.
We go. Just giving you the option,
I inherited a mess.
Counseling.
I inherited a total mess. Prices were at an all-time high when I came in. Prices are coming down substantially. Look at energy. You and I discussed before the interview, energy. Energy has come down incredibly. When energy comes down, everything, because it's so much bigger than any other subject, but energy has come down incredibly. Prices are all coming down. It's been 10 months. It's amazing what we've done. If you think of gasoline a gallon, they had it at $4.50, almost $5. You go to some of the states, you had it at $6. We hit 3 states 2 days ago, $1.99 a gallon. When that happens, everything comes down. Now, everything is coming down. With beef, I've just opened that up where beef is going to start coming down pretty
Would
substantially.
you consider more carve-outs on other goods that Americans find too expensive?
Well, some carve-outs, you mean from tariffs?
From tariffs, yeah, like coffee, like bananas.
Sure, and I've done that
beef.
already with coffee. They're very small carve-outs. It's not a big deal. But let me tell you about the real economy. We've got $18 trillion coming into our country. Biden had less than $1 trillion for 4 years, and he was heading south. Our country was falling apart. 18 trillion because of tariffs. $18 trillion is coming into our country. I think because of tariffs and November 5th election, if you want to know the truth. But
So would you rule out reducing tariffs on any more goods?
on some, and then some I'll increase tariffs. Because you know what happens is because of tariffs, all of the car companies are coming back. You know, we lost 58% of the automobile business. We had a monopoly on the world. We had everything. And because we had presidents that either weren't smart or didn't have business sense or their people didn't do a good job, they could have kept that. We could have kept the chip market. We had 100% of the chip market, Intel, all of these guys. You know, there's a thing. They came in to see me, Intel. They needed something to be done by the government. I said, I'm going to do it, but I think you have to give us 10% of your company. You know what happened? We made $40 billion on that deal. The price went through the roof. The United States, in about 10 minutes, I made $40 billion. Nobody talks about that.
I want to ask.
So let's just real quick, Shady Groove. I want to, because I took economics as a minor. Okay.
I'm over here like getting economic stats ready for you
Right.
guys. So I know that's where you're at.
Let me just talk about, she's talking microeconomics and he's
Right.
talking macroeconomics.
Correct.
Macroeconomics is the 40,000-foot view.
Right.
Okay. So microeconomics focuses on small scale stuff, you know, like decisions on individuals, firms, specific markets like coffee, eggs, you know, all the different things, not the bigger picture. The bigger picture for entire nations or the global economy is macroeconomics, guys. And those macroeconomics, it takes a while to trickle down into the micro. Okay, that's why he's talking about energy. For example, if you own any delivery, even like if you're an Uber driver, cheaper gas is going to make you more profitable. No, so energy is important. Cheaper gas is going to make it easier for stuff to get to the stores. No, so it's so people are focused on macro or microeconomics and not focused on the macro. I wish people were a little more educated in economics, but schools don't really teach that, Shitty.
Yeah, and we've got some other issues that I'd like to bring up that I think they're going to come right into with what you're saying. We're not worried about the prices of pork bellies. Okay, like we're not worried about
last night.
Trading Places.
Yeah,
no,
pork
you
bellies.
didn't. I watched
did.
that over the weekend. Did you really
Yeah.
watch that last night?
Last night, yeah.
I watched it over the weekend. That's crazy. It came up on the TV. I was like, I gotta watch this, and then this just reminded me of pork bellies. Oh my god, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but what I'd like to say is this: do you guys understand what GDP is? Gross domestic product. Like what do we produce? What do we produce as a country? We're one of the biggest producing countries on the planet Earth. We produce around 30. Let me get this right. I want to make this exactly right so that you can understand the dynamics of math, because a lot of people don't like to talk to you about math. $30.5 trillion last year was being considered our gross domestic product. That number represents the amount of business that was done. In other words, you add up all the retail business, everything that's calculated, everybody's pay, everything that went into your whatever, 401k, whatever, all calculated up. Each year we generate about 30.5 trillion. The economy generates about that amount of economic status with a 3.8% growth rate, growing at 3.8%. So Donald Trump is talking about implementing 18 trillion of investment into America. That is 18 trillion. That would be one half, just a little over one half of the gross domestic product in investment in America. You see, people don't understand, like what Jeff is saying, the micro has nothing to do with the macro until later. The macro has to be corrected before the micro can even be touched. And also not understanding the subsidy and big ag. Big ag in America is a behemoth that needs to be dealt with. The sugar lobby, all these other different lobbies that are relevant to screwing the farmers, which we had a big conference about yesterday, which was amazing. So big ag is getting subsidies from the government. If the government starts to cut off the subsidies to big ag is going to cost more to produce. Therefore, they're going to pass the cost on to you. That has nothing to do with the economy. That is only 100% about supply and demand and the way the stupid market is built to give big ag producers a massive leg up that small farm guys never get.
Yeah. So what you have to understand is the 40,000 foot view. And let me make it very clear. Okay. So if you think micro as zoom in on specific parts and macro as zoom out to see the big picture, these micro decisions impacting macro outcomes and macro policies affecting micro behavior, guys. This is what he's trying to tell you. I think this is a decode on the 40,000 foot view, guys. If I put 40,000 foot in QAG, it says USA leadership change, SA leadership change, German leadership change, PAC leadership change, 40,000 feet, 8, 7, 6, 5, ... Patriots don't sleep, 40,000 foot necessary to understand USA, SA global events. Decrease the altitude. So it's very interesting, Shady Groove, how people do not understand economics. It's very simple, really is, right?
Yeah, right. So we're talking 3.8%. We're talking 30.5 trillion. We have a $38 trillion debt. So what happens once that 18 trillion of investment gets invested and starts to produce? What's going to happen is we're going to go from producing a $30 trillion a year GDP to probably a $38 to $40 trillion GDP in a snap of a finger. It's going to happen overnight because of all of this investment. You're not even going to notice it happen. The next thing you know, you're going to wake up tomorrow, you're going to see the numbers. It's going to be 40 trillion that we did in the economy last year. That's the way this is going to play out. And I can see it looks clear as day to me, but all these people on TV, they don't want this to happen, guys. They don't not. The last thing they want is you to be prosperous. If you're prosperous, you're not going to be a criminal. If you're prosperous, you're not going to care what they say. If you're prosperous, you're not going to be like drug addicted on the street looking for fentanyl. You're going to be taking care of your family and going to work every day and like finding a hobby.
Yeah, or a job.
Well, after your job, you get a hobby. after you got a good job, then you need toys. You need a four-wheeler, you need a camper, you need all these different things.
No, we need Obamacare, Shady.
No, we don't need
government teeth.
No. We had
teeth.
plenty of that.
Shady?
Yes.
Interest rates, because a lot of Americans agree with you that they're too high. You're going to pick a new Fed chair soon. Is it a
I answered wrong.
The new chair lower interest rates immediately?
Yes. Well, this guy should too, but I think he's a combination of not a smart person and doesn't like Trump. But
so
the
you've
reason he
spoken
doesn't
with your
like
potential.
Trump, well, the reason he doesn't like Trump is because I hit him hard because he's doing a bad job.
So you've talked to your potential candidates.
We're fighting through interest rates. Look, he's a negative, but this country is doing so well. Again, we have $18 trillion being invested. Car companies are moving back that left us years ago. AI is.
Yeah, I just want to check. Cynthia's saying they can't hear anything. Is that her issue or that's on YouTube? Okay, that's your issue, Cynthia. Well, you can't hear me, so go ahead.
Thanks for telling her.
Thanks.
And at levels never seen before. Factories are opening up all over the country. $18 trillion of investment in the United States. Again, with Biden, we would have lost $10 trillion, okay? 18, that's a record. You know what's the second record? China. China had $2 trillion. That's a lot, $2 trillion. We have $18 trillion. And that ultimately, you know what it reduces itself to? Jobs. You can have jobs like you've never seen in the United States.
Before I let you go.
And by the way, and prices are coming down. Just to talk about affordability, the Democrats love to say affordability, but then they never talk about it. They're the ones that gave us the high prices. I'm the one that's bringing them down.
Well, one of the biggest issues on affordability right now is health care. And Obamacare subsidies are set to expire in a couple of weeks, which will lead to higher prices for millions of Americans. I do wonder, Mr. President.
But you said the word, Obamacare. Obamacare
Correct.
was conceived by Barack Hussein Obama, who knew nothing about health care.
But we're in the situation we're in now where those subsidies will expire. So I wonder, is letting those subsidies expire acceptable to you? And should Americans...
What I want on health care is very simple.
Can we stop a second?
Obamacare was set up for...
On subsidies. So that like this, here we go again. This lady has no idea what she's talking about. The subsidies were what the Democrats were stopping shut the government down over. They just literally shut the government down over subsidies, and so that they could make sure that the subsidies were funded whenever they expire in Obamacare. You know what happened? They lost. They went in and they signed the bill. The bill passed. The bill was signed into law. Now you have nobody cares about your stupid subsidies. The subsidies are gone. Your health insurance is going to go through the roof. I'm sorry to report to you that everything's getting ready to go all haywire because it was all fake to begin with. Now we're going to have to let it go haywire and then try to fix it. Yes, put it down to it stops, Yeti. That's right.
Here we
I
go.
agree with him completely.
Okay. Nobody can hear him.
Oh.
Here we go. Back to Trump. Good points, brother.
Insurance companies to become rich. Okay? That was why in my opinion, I think the Democrats did it for that reason. Do you know that insurance company stocks have gone up 16, 17, 1,800% over a short period of time? They've been paid trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars. And what I'm saying is very simple. I don't want to pay them anything. No money for the insurance companies. Sorry, fellas, I know them all. No money for the insurance companies. I want to pay the money directly to the people and let the people get their own health care. But you know who's fighting me in that? The Democrats.
But in the meantime, 2 weeks.
I really want to give the insurance companies my taxpayers' money and then pay a fortune for insurance every month because I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, well, you're just, a lot of people,
Wow.
a lot of people don't realize what was done to them. And a lot of people don't realize that we had a healthcare system before this whole Obamacare thing that were taking care of everybody. You don't understand this. Now you can't go into a hospital unless you've got insurance. Well, before all this nonsense happened, they couldn't refuse you service and they had to give you the best service. And if you couldn't pay for it, well, then that was just going to have to be their problem in the long run. There was one point in my life where medical costs couldn't even affect your credit report. So you have to understand where this stuff has gone and how out of control it is. And there's really, the onus is going to be on the insurance companies. The insurance companies are the ones that got in there and they made these deals so the drugs will be extremely expensive and every procedure would be extremely expensive. And everybody that comes in there that has a single test has cancer.
That's right. I want to give all my money and your money too to the insurance companies and then pay a boatload of for my insurance costs, Shady. I'm down with that.
Then they're going to tell you to stand 6 feet apart and put a mask on.
My God. Real quick, Shady, let me just get this out of the way here, as we are continuing to do this. Look for the smarter ways to browse and enjoy your favorite content without ads. Get the Perplexity Pro bundle with Rumble Premium for just $19.99 a month when you sign up before December 31st. Normally, a $29.99 value. With Rumble Premium, you'll get an ad-free viewing experience across all your devices and access to your exclusive premium content. No interruptions, just the videos and streams that you love anytime, anywhere. Plus, Perplexity Pro boosts your productivity with unlimited research, unlimited uploads, exclusive member perks, and access to the latest and most advanced AI models for faster, smarter answers every day. Save over 30% right now in this powerful bundle. Head over to rumble.com/premium before December 31st to sign up and unlock your premium experience. It also helps us, the MG Show. Shady Groove, back to the president.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mr. President, people will see those premiums go up. So will you tell Congress to extend those Obamacare subsidies while you work out another deal?
I'm going to have to say, I'd like to get better health care. I'd like to have people buy their own health care, get much better health care. And what I want to do, very simple, I want to give the money to the people, not to the insurance companies.
So right now people are buying their holiday presents. They're planning
Look, don't be dramatic.
No.
Don't be dramatic.
They're planning their budgets for next year,
Here's what I
Mr.
want.
President.
I know. And what I want to do is help them.
So
Don't be a drama llama.
Don't be a drama llama.
Wow.
I love it.
I want to
premiums go up.
I'm giving them money. I want to give the money to the people to buy their own health care. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. The Democrats don't want to do that. They want the insurance companies to continue to make a fortune. The Democrats are owned by the insurance companies. They want the insurance companies to get this trillions of dollars. We spend trillions of dollars goes to the insurance companies. I want that money to go to the people and let the people go out and buy their own health care. It works like magic.
Press 47 if that's something you would like. Let's see the 47s roll.
Let's let them
You know who doesn't
roll.
want it? The Democrats, because they're corrupt people, because they're totally owned and bought by the insurance
So
companies.
at this point, most likely premiums will go up and you will find another
Well,
plan?
your premiums could go down if you did what I want to do. I want to
gonna
give the
take
money.
time, sir.
Ready? I want to give the people better health insurance for less money. the people will get the money and they're going to buy the health insurance that they want.
I want to talk about one last really important issue.
You know that works really well, right? And you know the Democrats don't want to do it because they want the insurance companies to make all the money.
Immigration, sir, critical to your agenda. I want to ask about what the Pope has said, which is he has called your immigration actions inhumane. Do you take that seriously from the Pope?
I haven't seen that. I mean, maybe he has. I mean, he also didn't like the wall. You know, they didn't like the wall. The wall
Do you
turned
plan
out
to
be
meet or
great. You know, I
speak with
built
him?
the wall that stopped people from flooding, and I didn't put up the wall. I built the wall. Nobody talks about that. You know, it's interesting. 2 years ago, a year ago, under Biden, this country was out of control. Millions of people pouring through, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. And now we have nobody coming in. We have them coming in only legally. They have to go through a legal process. Nobody ever talks about that anymore. They should talk about that. But I haven't heard any statements from the Pope. I'm sure he's a lovely man. His brother's a lovely man.
Yeah,
You know,
you've
his
spoken
brother.
to him. Well-
You know, his brother is Sirius MAGA, lives in Florida. He's
So
like,
will you meet with the other brother, with the Pope?
I already met with the brother. He
But
came
with the Pope, will you meet with him or
Sure,
speak with him?
Why not?
One more question on immigration. The Supreme Court.
But the Pope, Shady.
That's
You mean with the Pope.
what everybody else is really concerned about too, but they won't say it.
Wow.
Court is going to hear a case that could redefine who is here legally in the United States. I'm talking about the birthright citizenship case. If the court sides with you and ends birthright citizenship, are you going to try to take away citizenship from people who already have it?
I honestly haven't thought of that, but I will tell you this. The case is very interesting because that case was meant for the babies of slaves. And if you look at the dates on the case, it was exactly having to do with the Civil War. That case was not meant for some rich person coming from another country, putting a foot in our country, and all of a sudden their whole family becomes, United States citizens. That case is all about slaves, the babies of slaves. And it was a good reason for doing it. And that's all it was about. And people now are understanding it. It's been explained to them, and I think the court understands it too. That would be a devastating decision if we lose that case.
That court,
because our country cannot afford to house tens of millions of people that came in through birthright citizenship. When that happened, that was meant for the babies of slaves. And if you look at the exact dates that it was passed, it all had to do with the Civil War and the ending of the Civil War. It's that little period of time, and people now are starting to understand
Do
it.
you want to see one of the justices on the Supreme Court retire so you can put in one more before the end of your term?
Well, the Democrats want to flood the court.
Clarence Thomas is 77, Samuel Alito is 75. Do you want one more on there?
Well, I hope they stay because I think they're fantastic, okay? Both of those men are fantastic.
Before I let you go, I want to ask.
I will say this. The Democrats want to pack the court. They want to have 21 justices. That would be a terrible thing for this country.
The future of the Republican Party. Look, I watched you on all of your campaigns pull together, especially in this last one, an unprecedented coalition to win the presidency. You brought in so many new voters to the Republican Party. You chipped away at some of the core bases of the Democratic Party. Is there anyone else in the GOP that can energize the coalition the way you did?
I hope so. I don't know. You never know until they're tested. It's like you jump in the water, you can swim or you can't. Some people can swim and some people can't. You never know. You have to see. I think we have a very good bench, I must tell. We have a lot of good people. We have a great cabinet. I have a really great cabinet. Better than my first cabinet. I had some very good people in my first cabinet.
Better than my first cabinet. Ding, ding, ding.
This cabinet, I have much more experience. When I first came to Washington, it was interesting. I didn't know anything about any of the people. I was a very successful guy from New York City, real estate, and other things. I mean, I had a great show and a lot of things, but basically real estate. And by the way, I'm fixing up the White House, making it beautiful. I'm doing a great ballroom that they've tried to do for 150 years and all of that stuff. But you never know. Your question's such an interesting question. You never really know until they get tested. I hope so.
Mr. President, thank you so much for joining the conversation. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
She was better than Leslie Stahl.
I mean, whatever. But, that That interview is fire, guys. That lady was schooled, Shady Groove. That girl, that little young girl that has no clue what the hell she's talking about, Shady. I'm just
She's obviously Ukrainian, so it's just I just think it's very funny how people immigrate here and they all of a sudden have like these ideas, like somehow they have better like we've been preached down to by these people like Vindman and all these other people talking about like how the America is racist and how there's all these problems and there's problems with the guns and all these different things that they want to change. It's just very interesting how the foreign people that come here have an idea of how they're going to change things.
Yeah. We're probably not going to be able to get to what I have in the title for the second part of the show, but I wanted to go to this, Shady Groove.
What you got?
Would you protest this? I mean, this is the DHS.gov/wow. Okay. These are who these people out there are reeing about with their whistles and getting So these are the worst of the worst, guys. They said that they were going after criminals. Look at this. Here's a guy from Mexico, 2nd-degree murder, 3rd-degree felony assault. No, he needs to stay here. How about being a felon in possession of a firearm? He needs to stay here. He's from Iran. How about this guy from the Honduras? Cruelty towards a child, indecent exposure, lewd, or lascivious acts with a minor. Do we need him here, guys? Are you going to protest him? You don't know who you're protesting, and we're trying to put a face with the protesters, Shady. Okay?
But I'm not sure they don't, sir. I think the people don't know what they're doing whenever they're protesting too directly in that moment. But the reality is the news media knows exactly who they're protecting, because these people that you're talking about, that you're showing right there, are the drug dealers. These people are the people that are that are causing crime in the inner cities. That's what they're doing. The people that want Gotham, the people that want crime in the inner city, the people that keep telling you can't solve the crime, the people that keep telling you can't blow up the drug boats, the people keep telling you can't shut down the border. They keep telling you that, oh yeah, we are fighting a war on drugs. Look out for Al-Qaeda. Like, it doesn't really matter what fear they instill on you. What Donald Trump is trying to do is he's trying to remove that layer so that they don't have that layer of control anymore.
Yeah. Finn says, I think she was pretty smart by not going full libtard. Trump would have made her look like a fool. I think he did make her look like a fool, just to be honest. I mean, quite honest, she's a fool. Right here, this is Colombia. This is a person from Colombia, stalking and rape of a minor, Shady. Aggravated assault weapon, illegal re-entry, guys. From Mexico. Egypt, aggravated assault and robbery. Voyeurism. This guy's peeping in your windows, guys, from Phoenix, arrested in Phoenix from Mexico. This guy, assault and drug possession. Yeah, we need him, Shady. How about this guy from burglary, Senegal, okay? Mexico.
Real addition to society there.
Yeah, these are great positive additions. There's 821 pages, Shady.
800 pages?
800. Let's go to the first one.
Oh.
Yeah. Fraud, sex assault offense against a child, fondling. Okay, we need him here. We're taking him away from his family.
He's an American dad.
Yeah, Robert, look at that. 821 posts, guys.
Pages.
221 pages of posts, guys. Wow. And you guys are protesting that?
It's just interesting.
Shame on them.
It's just interesting to me to make these connections with all the people that are saying that Donald Trump is not doing anything and that he's doing a bad job. We can connect to the intelligence community. We can connect to the drug trafficking network. I know that people like Flynn and company want you to think that they are clean, but the reality of the situation is I don't think that they are, because whenever you start to talk about Kandahar Strike Force and a number of other different things that went down in Afghanistan, whenever you start to talk about what were the real WikiLeaks cables releasing and showing that the generals were doing, it really paints a different picture. And whenever you start to think about people like Michael Hastings and his association with people like Joe Biggs and his association with people like Flynn and InfoWars, things get crazy.
And that octopus goes even further with Kyle Seraphin, Real
Yes.
Steve Friend, all these asshats acting like they know better than Donald J. Trump.
They told you specifically less than 6 months ago there was no such thing as 764, and Kash Patel announced today that there was like another 5 arrests.
Yeah.
There's been like 30 or 40 arrests within the 764 cult so far.
In the FBI, we are cracking down on online abuse against children. Why would you want to protect that, Kyle Seraphin? Almost 500% increase in nihilistic violent extremism arrests and over 20,000 increase in FBI arrests directly related to 764 network. Thanks to local partners working with us, and we have hundreds of cases all across the country taking down participants in this vile network every single week. This is one of the most important issues in America. We're proud to partner with leaders on Capitol Hill to help uproot each and every last criminal actor who enables this, guys.
Wow.
So this is the Senate Judiciary Committee examines the rise in horrific online child abuse, Shady.
That's
wow.
amazing. Jeff, our favorite.
And so Kyle was out there saying there is no 764 and the FBI wasn't focused on it. Why weren't they focused on it before, James Comey? Why weren't you focused on it, Andrew McCabe? And Kyle Seraphin, why weren't you focused on it?
Makes me think that there might have been some more information in those burn bags that Kash Patel got his hands on, and then all of a sudden you start to be able to find these 764 people. I think that's very interesting. Our most wonderful garden gnome, Jeff, asked if you could please share the link that you had there with the picture on the White House page with the perps on the
DHS DHS.com gov/wow.
Thank you.
DHS. Let me just make sure. .gov. Yeah, DHS.gov/wow, guys. 821 pages full of people that are breaking the law, and I cannot believe protesters are protesting that.
And you know that that's not even all of them. You know that's the ones that they're putting up and showing you that they're getting the worst of the worst out. But the reality of the situation is, I mean, like yesterday, there's like a traffic stop. They're weaponizing everything in the media. Traffic stop, and the girl is like dating an illegal immigrant. I'm sorry. You're okay. We see your license. You're an American. Your boy there is not an American. He's been evading the process for like 5 years now. He's going home. This is not separating families. I'm sorry. You know that you're dating an illegal immigrant. You need to marry them if you don't want them deported.
Yeah. And that says on YouTube, youtube.com/inthematrix says, I just want to say to everyone here that I'm so glad we have Shady and Jeff for holding the line all these years. I'm so thankful for this show every day. And we're thankful for you. And, we're not going to clickbait you into BS narratives. We're rather expose them.
We could have.
Yeah, and so, that's, Ephesians, that was one of my mantras, Shady. Do not give in to the fruits of darkness, rather expose them, loosely said. And then Q did the armor of God. And you need both of those, Shady.
They handed us the olive branch. They wanted us to participate. They wanted us to participate in and if we had taken that olive branch, then we would have been basically strapped to the network in a way that we couldn't have untangled ourselves from.
Yep. And we're not going to be sold out. Shady, let's real quick talk about the seditious six, Slotkin, blaming the ghosts, Shady.
Yeah. Isn't this interesting? Like before they said that there was no examples, they literally said they had no idea what you were talking about whenever they were saying illegal orders. We're just saying illegal orders, but now the story has changed. Now, Jeff, they're telling us that they've had all kinds of people that were coming to them and were concerned. That's why they made the video. Yeah, gotcha.
We have a name for those people on the Chan boards, but
yeah, we do.
Concern.
Can't say it on YouTube.
Here we go.
I mean, we made that video, 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, certainly not thinking that the president would go high and right, as we say at the Pentagon, on it like that. But because there were so many people coming to us who were, on active duty, who were recent veterans, family members of service members, who were coming to us individually, and I'm saying two things. One, I'm concerned, I'm going to be sent in uniform to an American city, like LA, Chicago, Memphis, and I'm going to be asked to do things I either don't think are legal or I'm not trained for. And that's, what do I do? And then this fall, it really turned and it became a lot of people who were involved in the operations around the Caribbean asking those same things. Hey, I'm not sure I don't know if this is legal. I don't know if I'd be held accountable later after this administration. I can't get a straight answer about whether this is legal or not. What do you think we should do? So we were hearing that. There's a lot of juju in the system on that for months. And so that's why we made the video, just restating the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Okay, a couple of things here real quick. Boom. But boy, oh boy, she says she sure does say he sure does say a mouthful there. So she's trying to convince you that like people came to her, it's like, oh, we're so concerned about what it is we're doing out there in the Caribbean. We are doing it. Let me tell you something. We've had like 15, 20 boats hit, 25 boats, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. There's like two guys with a computer screen and a drone that are hitting a button and the boat goes boom. You think that there's like some sort of like large room like on Red October where they're all like sitting in the room and they're like war gaming, like, what are we gonna do with this dang old drug boat, sir? Like, I don't know, Johnny. We're gonna have it. But sir, it's a dang old drug boat. We're gonna have to bring all the people in and get them together. It's two people, and there's nobody that has pulled a trigger to blow up a drug boat that has made even close to an attempt to strike up a conversation with any of you idiots.
Yeah. Mike, you're laughing at Daily Beast, but that's actually a good interview. That's good facts for us to consider. But yes, it's on the Daily Beast. But who else was on the Daily Beast yesterday, Mike Hess?
Did he miss it?
I don't know.
He's an effing loser.
No, it's
not Mike Hess, the guy in Daily Beast.
Not Mike Hess. So we got this. So this is back to the protesters, right? And the mainstream news. So exposing the mainstream lies, guys, about ICE is like shooting fish in a barrel, okay? They lie about our brave ICE agents every damn day, okay? They act like he's a father. But then if you dig deeper, and maybe people need to start doing this, okay? And going over to that DHS.com/wow. But I want to play this. This person, this influencer, I don't know who she is, but she nails it, Shady. Are you ready?
They act like criminals can't be parents. Is there something out there in the media water that makes them not understand that just because someone is a male and just because they have children does not mean they are not a criminal? Like, I just like this conflated logic is so absolutely absurd.
You ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, this is the video.
In a car with her boyfriend who was here illegally. They were stopped. She refused to comply with ICE officers or give any identification. She was briefly detained, and then once she gave identification and they were able to confirm who she was, they released her immediately.
Now that's normal, okay? That is what should happen, okay? You can sit there and scream and be filmed by these reeing idiots, but then you prove your papers and you're gone. It's that simple. That's how the law works, Shady.
That's 100% how it works.
Yeah.
Next.
This morning, a GMA exclusive, the 19-year-old college student detained by ICE while trying to visit her family for Thanksgiving, then deported against a judge's order, now speaking out.
It's been hard.
She's had an active deportation order against her since 2015. She has evaded law enforcement by ignoring appeals processes, and DHS emphasized that she received full and due process back then, but chose to stay undocumented. Next.
ICE agents held their 5-year-old daughter outside their home to get her father to surrender.
Her dad was in the country illegally and had charges against him like strangulation and domestic abuse. He was evading officers, went to go run and hide in the woods, and left his daughter, totally abandoned her. ICE officers just wanted to make sure that she was okay and safe, as she was an abandoned child. We cannot hate the mainstream media enough. I am not being dramatic when I tell you that every single story like this that you see that the news reports on, there's always more to the story. They will headline something. They will try to push a narrative that is objectively false, that is omitting key pieces of information for the public to know. 10 out of 10 times, without fail, every single anti-ICE video that you see, anti-ICE story that you see is omitting key details. They are not telling you the truth. They're trying to push a narrative to spread fear because the Democrats have to have these votes in order to win. It's their voter base. ICE is doing an incredible job. They're making our country safer. They're ensuring better quality lives for all citizens. They're protecting American citizens first. That's what a country should do. That's what officers should do. Prioritize the safety of its citizens. This smear campaign against them, it's wrong. It's a lie. It's all a lie. Don't fall for it.
Well said, guys. Just dig in a little deeper, man. You know, the ABC News pushing that garbage.
I'll tell you something. You want to know something that's very interesting? We're gonna put our common sense hat on here for a second. You know what happens? You know what Americans don't do whenever they see ICE? What do Americans not do whenever they see ICE? They don't run. Okay. So if you see a group of people, if ICE shows up somewhere, and if ICE shows up somewhere and you see a group of people running, I'm going to bet that those aren't Americans, because there ain't a damn American that I've ever seen in my lifetime that would stand there and say, I'm going to run away from ICE. Why would you run away from ICE? You wouldn't run away from ICE because you're not a freaking criminal. Okay. Yeah. Only the criminals are going to run away from law enforcement. It's really interesting. Like, a non-criminal is going to stand there and talk to the law enforcement. Yes, sir. Here's my ID. Yes, I was standing here. Yes, I saw this. Yes, I can help you with this. No, I'm not going to capitulate to that. We'll get it back and forth over who I am, who I'm not, whatever. You're not going to get me to run away from you. Okay. Yeah. So whenever you see ICE and you see people running, the people that are running are the illegal immigrants. Let's make sure that everybody stays on the same page.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple.
It really seems simple,
and maybe those people that are whistleblowing like that are the ones that are also illegal.
And maybe what we should do, Jeff, to make this process a little bit better is, instead of just capturing and sending the illegals back, what if we were to start identifying what employer hires them?
Yeah.
Like who are you working for? Right. Like if this is DH7 construction over here, then I'd like to see the name of the construction company that's hired 15 illegals, and I'd like for them to be fined by the IRS, or at least have some sort of authority thrown at them.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, Shady. I mean, what we're going through right now,
slave labor.
And that people just need to be armed with the facts. You can't, if you were psychological operated on, guys, you can't, and believing wrong facts, you can't make correct decisions.
Yeah, Wigwam
even about your family.
Yeah, Wigwam says we'd help catch them. That's exactly right.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Deputize me, man.
Yeah, make me a deputy. Yeah. Oh, right. Lordy.
Shady, before we head out of here, we got a crypto.com one. Let me go ahead and read this one, because let's be clear, cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It is here, and this latest move cements that reality in the biggest way yet. Trump Media Group just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They are teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in CRO, the powerhouse token that fuels fast, low-fee DeFi staking rewards and real-world perks like cash back in your spends. To launch America's first CRO treasury, this is what's happening. When it's done, guys, this new company will be the biggest CRO holder out there. Want in on the action? Head to Crypto.com today and grab some CRO, and let's make crypto great again.
Let's go.
Woo, so Tuesday. Wow, here we go.
Wow.
We're going to head out of here, Shady Groove. We'll see you guys on Trump Day. Every day is Trump Day here on the MG Show. And I guess the truth, doesn't get a lot of clicks, but we can get more clicks if you share the show, guys. Facebook, you can share it there. You can share it YouTube. You can share it, share all of it. Share it on True Social. Share the show, guys, please. And if you want, make clips, send them to us, and we'll play them. And then with the link to please help out, guys. We really need your help.
We are speaking up for you. So if you feel like that we're speaking up for you, please do something to let us know what it is that we could do to help you help us.
Yeah. Help us help you. Help you help us.
Help you.
We're in it together, guys. We are in this together, and we are realizing what is happening to our movement. We're realizing what is happening to Donald J. Trump. It's because they think you are stupid. You don't know economics. You have no idea, okay? And I'm not meaning people here. I'm just saying they don't want you to understand economics. They don't want you to understand how well Trump is doing, how well Kash Patel is actually doing. They don't.
No conspiracy.
Merry MAGA Christmas, Shady.
There's no conspiracy, Jeff. If there's no conspiracy, what are all the conspiracy people going to sell?
Merry MAGA Christmas, Shady.
Merry MAGA Christmas to you too, sir.
See you guys tomorrow.
MG, showtime. Shady and Jeff drop the truth like a 9. Digging through lies with the red pill glow. Expose heroes in the swamp from the head to the toe. MG, MG, MG show. Hey, patriots log in and light up the day. Chat's going wild, memes are flying along. Then we all sing this MG Christmas song. MG Army, fight all night. Never back down till we get it all right. Tech memes and truth bombs ring, making deep state cry. What a glorious thing. MG show bright, best damn broadcast in the freedom fight. It's the right time to drain the whole swamp. Merry MAGA Christmas from the MG Army. Drops and timestamps and nons in the know. White hats are coming through the deep state snow. Trump's taking it back, 2025 full attack. No brakes on this train, we're staying on track. From X to Rumble, we're raising the roof. Pedos are scared when we're loading the proof. Shady's on fire, Jeff's dropping the mic. MG listeners, best patriots in song. MG Army, fight all night. Never back down till we get it all right. Tag memes and truth bombs ring, making deep state cry. What a glorious thing. MG show bright, best damn broadcast in the freedom fight. It's the right time to drain the whole swamp. Merry MAGA Christmas from the MG Army. Chomp, bells are ringing. The storm is here. Justice is coming. Pour another beer. No more traitors. No more lies. America first, lighting up the skies. MG Army, full send mode. 1776 on the glory road. Trump trains rolling, never gonna stop. Merry MAGA Christmas, let's take back the top. MG show bright. We the people winning this fight. Grab your eggnog, raise it high and stomp. Merry MAGA Christmas from the MG Army. Chomp.